on EA Sports. And coming up, it's two teams who made their NFL debuts together back in 1976. It's the Hawks and the Buccaneers, and it's all up next.
Well, as soon as you see that pirate ship in the north end zone, you know exactly where we are. It's the home of the Buccaneers, Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay. Thanks for joining us, everyone. With my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. And like so many matchups in the NFL, Brock, our focus goes right to the quarterbacks in this one. Both of these guys, players who've been around the league now for some time, they've definitely established themselves as veterans who know how to win football games.
Yeah, I think the word of the day, Kate, is definitely experience. Two guys who've been through the season several times over, have seen a lot at this point in their career and been through quite a bit on the field. All that experience is stored up there right between the ears. And the one who is more skilled at leveraging that experience, more than likely is going to come away with the win.
Here's Jason Myers to get this one going. And we're off from Tampa. Bucky Irving now to return. Returns looking good so far. He's still going. And in, touchdown Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers take a 6-0 lead in the first quarter. Well, when it's set up perfectly, Brock, and you get an exciting return man back there fielding it, wow, there are not many plays in football more exciting than taking a kick back for 6.
Find those blockers, follow those blockers, and then step on the gas. So simple for me to describe, yet so tough to execute on the field.
That one right down the middle. And the Buccaneers will jump out to a 7-0 lead. What do you think, Brock? Can we get dueling kick return touchdowns, huh? Let's find out. The kick is away. Has this at the 6. Returns looking good so far. His return gets him to the 32-yard line before he's taken down. So out come the Seahawks for their first offensive possession. They're led out by someone amidst their second act as an NFL QB. He was a second-rounder back in 2013, Geno Smith.
Kate, we've hardly gotten into this game, and already he's headed out there with a mission right in front of him. This sideline, you can feel it. They're still stunned after the return put him in the immediate hole. It's now his responsibility to captain this offense downfield and at the very least neutralize the momentum, but ideally answer with a score of their own. It may not look like much on the stat sheet, but this is kind of good on good. An offense gets a completion, not going backwards, and the defense, well, they rallied, they pursued, and kept that screen to a minimal gain.
A play fake, now Smith to throw. Bails out of the pocket quick. The Buccaneers get there and bring him down. And they're going to have to regroup after this one.
And now this defense is on that sack board and sets up a pretty good chance here on 3rd down. It's a little bit like blood in the water with sharks when it comes to taking sacks. You can feel it as a quarterback. Once that defense gets one, they're hungry for another.
3rd and 6 for them to figure out now. Out of the gun, here's Smith. Complete beyond the marker. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
You know what I love to say? You never go broke taking a profit, and you often gain profits when you use your eyes as a quarterback. Those hitch routes, those underneath throws, oftentimes it's the eyes of the quarterback looking downfield and then taking that short completion.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Kenneth Walker gets it for the first time. He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. Yaya Diaby brings him down. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
I've talked to running backs over the years, Kate, in the transition from the college game to the pro game. They'll tell you, there's just times in the NFL you got to run into darkness. You run into a lot of bodies. Perfect example of that on the 1st down play.
And they'll bundle this up after a 4-yard gain. Hauled down by Christian Izien. Give him 4 on that run. That's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
When you don't have great success on first down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune 3rd down situation.
He's going to try to drop it in deep. They connect on the deep shot. Touchdown, Seattle. So no mistaking that play call, Brock. They send everybody on deep goes, and it winds up paying off. What a play.
And you think on the other side, defensively, they'd be ready for this. But this is truly a breakdown in the secondary. They're just not able to make a play on the ball in the air. And the end result, as you said, a big play and a touchdown.
Now it's Jason Myers on for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Seahawks start off well to tie things 7-7. Here's Myers now to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Irving. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So here come the Buccaneers, ready for their opening drive. They are brought out by a former #1 pick who always plays with energy and passion, Baker Mayfield.
There's just certain quarterbacks, the way they run on the field. You just say their name and just some adjectives and attributes pop up right away. For Baker Mayfield, scrappy, tough, a will to win. I'm not surprised at all to see himself back in the starting role. Not surprised at all to see him flourish. The dude is mentally tough, he's mentally strong, and he typically makes the most.
And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
We spend so much time talking about an offense and how they script their first 15 plays typically. But how about that defensive coordinator, that head coach? Heck, every player on that sidelines, you couldn't script it any better. Well, other than maybe taking the ball away, creating a negative play, creating a sack, creating offense now behind the chains, that's exactly how you're looking to start.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Trying again following the sack. Escapes, and they get to him again. And back-to-back takedowns behind the line of scrimmage set him up now with 3rd down.
Normally, when we say somebody's on skates, we're talking about that offensive lineman, right? Driven right back to the quarterback. But I think it's applicable for the entire offense to be on skates. 2 plays, 2 negative plays. Got to find something positive here on 3rd down.
So not an enviable spot here as they come up on 3rd and very long. Baker now from the gun. And he didn't get enough into that throw. That's low and incomplete, so they're going to be facing 4th down coming up.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or 2, and 3rd downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
The Buccaneers out and into punt formation. He sends this away, and oh, this is going to be a field flipper. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. The Seahawks are headed out, and we'll see Kenneth Walker. And he finds himself across an important benchmark for yards this season after that last drive. He stayed pretty busy this season, and the numbers show just that. First play of the drive. Here's Walker. He's able to drive that pile about a yard. Levante David, like so many times in his career, making that tackle. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
I know we all love the big home run plays, the highlight reel plays, but as an offense, these are just the stay-on-schedule kind of plays. But I love the commitment to this run game. Keep working that body, keep working that body, keep working that body, and eventually you could take the will away from your opponent.
8 yards on that play, and they only have 1 now to go on 3rd down.
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on 3rd down, Kate. Take at least a little bite out of the big meal between them and the 1st down marker, and that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
On 3rd down, Walker has the 1st and more past midfield. And he's finally stopped across midfield at the 47. They gain 14 on the play. And the Seahawks will have a 1st down.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the 1st down, but got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. Running with Walker again. And this defense offering no room at all up the gut there. No gain. That's Antoine Winfield Jr. up to make that play. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
Blitz coming for Smith. Complete to DK Metcalf. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the 1st.
There's no route on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. They kick the running back in motion. Not enough on this throw. It hits the turf instead of his man. Gonna have to wait a little longer for his 1st catch of the game. And now they face 2nd down.
You know, when we were growing up in the backyard, we call them alligators. 1 alligator, 2 alligator, 3 alligator. He needed another alligator in order to get that ball off. Credit the defense for forcing the incompletion.
They go play action. Here's Smith. Pass complete to Walker. And he takes it across the 30 before heading out.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
The Buccaneers add another DB. 3rd down coming up. Fights off a tackle, but he lost the ball. He left the ball behind. And it's a turnover. The defense has it. Wow, oh wow. He sent his offense out twice now, and both times they fumbled it away. I'm not sure who's more aggravated, the dudes down there or the dude next to me up here.
Well, I'm aggravated, but I know the guy on the field wants to put the offense in the doghouse, like all of them right now. This can't happen in the NFL, Kate. And a lot of guys out there, they got to be looking to one another, hold each other accountable to hold on to the ball.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. Throwing now, following the turnover. Grabbed by Chris Godwin. And he's able to get across the 25 before stepping out.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. Catch made by Bucky Irving. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
He specializes in salvaging broken plays out of the backfield, but even he couldn't get anything out of that one, Kate. That defense, they were all over it.
And the Seahawks adding an extra DB here. 3rd down coming. From the gun, Mayfield. And it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Tampa Bay in punt formation now. And he wants to hit his second effort just as well as he hit his first. Absolutely crushed his first punt, and here's another huge one. Takes it in at the 21. And he's brought down before the return gets far. Absolutely crushed that kick, a full 70-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawks football. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Handoff to Walker from the gun. And he'll push forward for a small gain to the 31. It's a gain of 3 for him. That brings up 2nd and 7. From the 31. It's incomplete. Should have been a catch downfield, but off his hands and to the ground it goes.
Oh, that drop is such a bummer because it ruins the payoff of such a well-designed play, Kate. Got the man open, beat the coverage, but then you got to go finish it. You got to go make that catch. I will say, keep that one in mind. They could revisit that play in the future.
He has the first over the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Give him 32 on that play. And it sets up Seattle with 1st down.
You throw it in the middle of the field, it's all about anticipation and accuracy. I mean, those are the 2 keys all the time in my book, Kate. But when you throw it in the middle of the field with all of the traffic, that's where guys with great anticipation and that tremendous accuracy come to life.
1st and 10 now. Here's Smith. He's on the move. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
You know what I call that, Kate? Punch, and you took a punch, but then you countered right back. You give up a big play, massive play, but you don't hang your head. You come right back, you get a sack of your own, and you change the momentum as quickly as you can.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Another try following the sack. Walker hauls it in.
You know, Kate, it is so hard on these defenses to try to keep an eye and monitor on these running backs when they leave the backfield, especially if he's waiting to chip a defender or delays in the start of his route. He's really an underrated part of their overall passing game.
And the Buccaneers clogging up the throwing lanes. We got 6 DBs out there. 3rd down. Shotgun snap to Smith. And this one is dropped and incomplete. He had the pick in his hands, couldn't hang on. It's going to be 4th down.
You feeling lucky? Well, do you? Well, he should, because the quarterback got away with one right there. That was an easy pick dropped by the defense.
4th down punt from the Seahawks, and that means we're going to see Michael Dixon head on to send it skyward. And no chance at a return. He wisely angled it for the sideline and got it down to the 12 before going out. Time for us to get another look at this Tampa Bay offense. And it's far from the first time we're seeing this unit head out, Brock, but what we haven't seen so far in this opening half, well, we haven't seen much in terms of yardage.
No, it's like they've written a few lyrics, but nowhere close to a song yet.
3 yards on the 1st down play, and that brings up 2nd and 7. Mayfield now from the gun. Finds his man. It's Godwin. And he gets him around 6 there. Tackle made by Ernest Jones.
Part of the reason I leave you pregame, Kate, and get down to that field and watch these guys throw and catch is I want to see their timing. I want to see their anticipation. That is picture perfect right there. A crossing route thrown that quickly tells me these two are on the same page.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Seeing some early game planning at work here, Brock. They were quick to attack that throw and break it up.
Yeah, this defense knows the importance this offense places on throwing the ball to their tight ends, and they were ready for it and all over it.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. That's going to be a highlight there, a 68-yard punt. And it'll be their football. Now Seattle all set to go here on offense. And they'll try for better results this time around, Brock, after they had to punt it away last time out. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
You know, Kay, one of the reasons it's so hard to run the ball in the NFL is to move grown men off their spot against their will. You get a run play like that, you've done your job. You've moved them against their will, and you've set yourself up for some later success.
This is Walker on second. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great blocking to spring them. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
It's Walker on the option. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped at his own side at the 49. Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up. Throwing off the play fake here. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find a throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Throwing on 3rd, Smith. On the move, headed right. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down. New set of downs for him at the 38. They'll go with Walker on the counter. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. That stop made by K.J. Britt. Halfway there on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Hey, Kate, you want to know how crazy your partner is next to you? I would love to take a fan right out of these stands and put them there on that play, just so they could feel what a 5-yard run feels like. Because it may not look like anything on the stat sheet, but I promise you if the average person felt the pain of what a 5-yard gain was, they'd have a whole new perspective.
They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Those routes across the field become oh so dangerous the longer that play progresses. It gives him more time to get free, wiggle away from that man-to-man coverage. And with enough time, it's almost inevitable he'll find enough space for a completion.
First down, Smith to throw. Too far out of the back of the end zone it goes, incomplete.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
So after the incomplete pass, here's 2nd and goal. Back to the air, it's Smith. Looking end zone, but touchdown denied. Knocked away, incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. And now they're left with 3rd and goal.
Well, QB put it pretty close to the sideline to begin with, and the defender, look at him, just put his little hand right out there. It just encouraged it to fall out of bounds.
On 3rd and goal, Smith. Forced out to his right. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And that sack gonna cost them some yardage.
Hey, I get it. There are times as a decision maker playing quarterback, you take a sack and you cut your losses. But when you get an opportunity in the red zone on third down, you'd love to give your guy on the other end a chance, because a touchdown, well, we know in the course of outcomes of games, so much more influential than settling for a field goal.
Myers' kick is good. And that's going to break our tie and give him a 3-point advantage.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. But that's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
Here's Myers now to handle the kickoff. Tucker now on the return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Tampa Bay are ready to head out to the field. And this certainly isn't the rut they want to be in, Brock. All of their drives have been ending in punts as of late. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Now here's Mayfield. On target to Godwin. Give him 13 on that play. And that's good for a Buccaneer 1st down.
Kate, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man on a drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
Shotgun handoff to Irving. And he's only going to get 2 or 3 yards on that one. Second down now, 7 to go. They'll send him over right. From the 44 here on 2nd down. That's complete, Mike Evans. An excellent gain, 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about 2 things. Separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks, that's the trust, and then they got to believe that that separation can create the big play down the field.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. 1st and 10, here's Mayfield. Complete to his man, Sterling Shepard. And he runs this to the 25 before being brought down. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
1st down, here's Baker. This one's taken in by Otten. And they get this down to the 10-yard line before going down. We will not get another play in here. That's going to do it for quarter number 1. Just a field goal separates these two. More from Raymond James Stadium coming up after the break. Ready to go with our 2nd quarter. Buccaneers with the ball and a chance to score. 1st down from the red zone. He brings it in. And he's short of the 1st after a mild gain. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Baker throwing again. He's got it! And not much doing. He stopped quickly. Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Here's a toss to White. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Well, they were hoping They're hoping to get outside and meet those guys at the second level. Well, someone from the second level came to beat him on his turf. And that meeting didn't go so well.
On fourth down, the Buccaneers trying to put 3 on the board with Chase McLaughlin. This only a chip shot from the right hash. The kick by McLaughlin is good. And we're all tied up now in the first half.
Well, nothing to critique there. Good snap, good hold, and he puts it through to pay off the drive with 3 points.
The Bucs get lined up, and they will kick this away. Fielded at the 7. He's got a lane up past the 30. They'll begin from the 36 as the returner's brought down. The Seahawks returning their offense and this running back to the field. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. Walker on first down. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
Now might be a good spot to remind everybody, about for the 1000th time, how much better athletes these D tackles are today, Kate. A decade or two ago, they just ate up space. Now, they eat up running backs.
Staying with Walker. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Stopped that time by Jamel Dean. That's 5, it looks like, on the play, so now it's going to be 3rd and 8. They go play action. Here's Smith. Escapes the pocket. Oh, he's going to run for it. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down. Motioning the tight end now. Smith on first down. Into the hands of Tyler Lockett. And they'll have it a little shy of the 40 as he goes out.
Kate, if there was one throw in the game plan that kept me up at night more than any other, it was an out route versus zone coverage. Because you got to throw it with anticipation, but you also got to make sure those defenders' eyes aren't reading you like a book.
From the 42. Connects with Fant. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And the Seahawks will have a first down.
Wow, certainly found the weak spot in the coverage with that catch. Really goes to show they trust every single player, receiver, running back, in that case tight end, to be a playmaker in this offense.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. Running left, here's Walker. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. Levante David, like so many times in his career, making that tackle. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9. Smith back to throw. Gets this to Fant. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line. They come to the line here, and this is 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, here's Smith. It's a Seattle touchdown. Now the second time we've had the privilege of calling a touchdown pass to him in this opening half, Brock, and you're starting to get the feeling that he isn't done yet.
Well, but defensively, Kate, you got to do something different. It's kind of like a pitcher who gives up a home run and then a second home run to that same guy. You are not going to give him a pitch to hit, and this defense has got to start taking this receiver away.
Myers to add the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Seahawks break that tie and now lead by 7. Here's Myers now to handle the kickoff. Tucker now on the return. Finds some space, he's past the 30. Tackle made as the return gets it out to the 32. Here come the Bucs on offense now. They'll look to knot up this game right now as they trail 17-10. Here's the give to Irving. It's a pickup of 11. And that's good enough for a Tampa first down.
Now, don't think for a second they're going to slow down the tempo. Defense on their heels. And right now is the best chance to go push that envelope and get aggressive.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it second down.
Perhaps a bit late breaking towards the ball, but still just enough time to get a finger on it and knock it away.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Irving here from the gun. And he's going to manage a lone yard on that drive up the gut. Brought down on the play by Uchenna Nwosu. Only a yard for him that time, so now 3rd and 9. Slot man in motion right. 3rd down, here's Mayfield. He's on the move. He's running for it. And he slides down with enough to pick up that first. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks. First and 10 from the 41. Baker now from the gun. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin on that play. And it's going to be second down.
Yeah, this game, you just can't make it harder than it needs to be. Just get the catch first. Guarantee your yards, and then worry about escaping defenders after the catch.
Throwing again is Baker. Escapes the pocket. He's on the move. And this is down to the 28 before the defense halts it. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first. Baker now off the play fake. Finds his man. It's Godwin. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
Well, that one was drawn up and delivered beautifully, efficiently. If it's not circled on the call sheet already, you better believe it is now.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. Flushed out of the pocket. Stays upright. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
Oh, man, those defensive players hate slippery quarterbacks. Near impossible to keep them hedged in or corral them behind the line there. He evades them long enough to turn a potential loss into positive yardage.
2nd and 6 coming up here. On the give, this is Irving. And he's going to advance them down to the 4-yard line. Third and just 2 to go. Mayfield now from the gun. Has it down close. And he pushes it all the way to the goal line, but goes out at the 1. 4 yards on the play, and that picks up a 1st and goal. Irving will not score, and it's not going to get back to the line either. I think he lost close to 3 on that play.
I tell you what, before the snap, I think everybody in the stadium would have said this offense was going to score on that series. The only people who didn't think that were the most important people, and that's the 11 dudes on defense that made the play.
Play fake, it's Mayfield. Complete out to the right. And they'll stand him up and sit him down at the line.
It was as if the defense knew what play was coming. That was a play they knew they could defend, and boy, did they ever, stopping it right at the line of scrimmage.
So now, here's 3rd and goal. Pressure coming, Baker. And they will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers can tie it up in the 2nd after cutting into the lead. It's a Chris Godwin touchdown. They were throwing for it there, and they didn't care who knew about it, Brock. And it turns out, hey, nothing was going to stop them either.
Yeah, there's something about an empty formation. You are declaring to a defense, other than QB draw, this ball is going to be in the air. But at the same time, you also force the defense's hand. There's only so many coverages they can play, and they just exposed them.
McLaughlin, attack on the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Buccaneers make it 17 all. The Bucs get lined up, and they will kick this away. Return coming from the 6. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. The Seahawks back on offense, led out by Geno Smith. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. And in a high-scoring game to this point, everyone anticipating, well, even more points as they take the field. They'll have him gain about a handful there. Tackle made by Kalijah Cansey. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
Kate, you really do love those 5-yard gains on 1st down. You know what it kind of feels like? Kind of feels like making pars on the golf course on the par 3s. And now, on the par 5s, you can go let it rip.
Now an inside give to Walker. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Not sure if it was a missed assignment on the line, a dominant play on his part, or maybe a little bit of both, Kate. But look at those dudes down there defensively. Man, they are fired up after that stick behind the line.
So now here's 3rd and 5. From the gun, Smith. He's on the move. He's stepping up and takes off with this one. That's a pickup of 9. And it sets up Seattle with 1st down.
You know, before the snap, right before the snap, you may have to take off if the read isn't there. That was a great adjustment made at the perfect time for the 1st down.
New set of downs for him from the 46. A give up the gut to Walker. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
It's pretty obvious this defense, man, they need more people around the line of scrimmage. But the minute you do that, Kate, you start opening up those throwing lanes. This is how balance takes apart a defense.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Walker now from the gun. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
Well, no springing a big play on that one. It's just going to simply be used as a setup play, whether that's another run or eventually what I love, setting up a play-action pass off that counter action.
2nd and 6 coming up here. A play fake. Now Smith to throw. He finds Fant. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That's going to pick up the first down after a gain of 26.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. The give now to Walker. And they'll get him down at the 7-yard line. First down play nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine. And that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
Shotgun snap to Smith. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
That sure ended up being worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down, and he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. It's just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
This offense looking to convert as they come up on 3rd down. Smith escapes the pocket. Now he takes it, and he slides to a stop after a great run, but still not quite enough for that first down.
You know, that may have been a situation when you look back on it and he watches the tape the next day, that he's got to find a way to throw the ball because his running ability, while it gets him some yards, is not enough to get the first down.
Jason Myers out there now to try and field goal for the Seahawks on 4th down. He's hit once already. This is a short one, inside of 30 yards.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm than start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Here's Myers now to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Irving. Oh, he's showing some burst on this return. He's brought down to end that return as we've reached our 2-minute warning. Mayfield on 1st and 10. Throwing the out route complete. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that's good for a Buccaneer first down.
The smartest pass catchers I've ever been around, they know how to set up an outcut beautifully. They recognize when they have leverage, how to sell the deep route, and then boom, they just break it out as if it's nothing.
1st and 10, it's Mayfield. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. So that brings up 2nd down.
Defender's not going to be thrilled the catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little jawing after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
Hauled in by Godwin. And this goes across midfield and into Seahawks territory. Buccaneers hustling to the line. They're in the hurry up. Throwing now, 3rd and 2. Irving hauls it in. And out of bounds right at the 40-yard line. A 70-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Hey, Kate, they don't rightly care who it's going to go to in that situation. All they really care about are the results on 3rd down. And that's exactly the result they needed, enough to keep this drive moving.
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Mayfield to throw again. On target to Godwin. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. They'll come up 1st and 10. From the red zone now. Nowhere to go with it, so he just throws it away.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Baker throwing again. This one's taken in by Otten. And he's out of bounds inside the red zone, just short of the 15.
As a quarterback, when you have an out route versus man coverage, you're just hoping and just praying your offensive guy could turn the hips of that defender. And once you see that, you got to cut it loose and let it go, just as they did right there.
3rd and short, Mayfield. Cut out left. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. Tampa spends its 2nd timeout now. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. And he hauls it in for the Tampa touchdown. The Buccaneers get some late points and the lead. It's a Chris Godwin touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. Well, they definitely wanted to get that one out quick, Brock. They did just that, and it ends in 6.
We hear it all the time, but it is so true, Kate. This is a game about matchups. And when you see a throw that quick, it really was determined pre-snap. It was great design and tremendous execution.
McLaughlin attack on the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Buccaneers take a 4-point lead. The Bucs get lined up and they will kick this away. Here's a return from the 7. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. This offense headed out as we get a look at their running back. And I'd say the ROI on his early touches have made him a pretty good investment for first half work. He's gotten off to a great start here. 1st and 10 now. Here's Smith. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And he's going to get past the 40 before he goes out. They'll get 31 yards on the play. And the Seahawks will have a 1st down.
One thing we don't have in football is we don't have that radar gun. But if we did, Kate, this is the kind of throw, when you throw it that deep outside the numbers, that requires a serious fastball, serious arm strength, and he just showed it off.
Down inside the 40 now with a 1st down following that last play. Out of the gun, here's Smith. Pass complete to Walker. And that's good for a gain of 5. Stop that time by Jamel Dean. Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. Here's Smith. Gets this to Fant. And he gets down to the 24 before he stopped. All right, set now, 1st and 10. And again, it's Smith. Finds the in route complete. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. Now a timeout taken by the offense, and we're going to see if they try for 2 plays here or just try the field goal right now. They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. And no one had a shot at that. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Just something off in the rhythm of their passing game on that one. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back into rhythm.
Only time left for one more snap, Brock, so they're going to run out their field goal unit. They're going to mark this as a 24-yarder. Myers' kick is good. And that cuts the lead back down to a lone point.
Give him the first half trifecta. He's 3 for 3 on field goals. And as much as they'd like 6 points to end drives, not 3, they can at least be happy they're getting consistent looks inside field goal range, and he's delivering.
Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. He's back to throw. He puts some air under a deep throw to the left. And disaster averted. He knocks away the deep ball, incomplete. And we've hit halftime here in Tampa. And the Buccaneers toting a nice lead into the locker room. Now we'll keep it in state, but send you a couple hours away to our buddy in Orlando. It's Jonathan Coachman. He's got our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports halftime report. We saw a strong first half out of the former Heisman Trophy winner, Baker Mayfield. He came on after a slow start to fire 2 second-quarter touchdown passes and give his guys the lead at the intermission.
Fielded at the 7. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The visitors headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And this is some quality film review right here. Look at this. Couple of touchdowns, good amount of yards, too. He's been moving them down the field like only he can, putting together quite the game for himself in the process. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. First play of the drive. Here's Walker. And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
Hey, not a bad play by any means, but there's room for more, and they know it.
Second down now, 7 to go. Running with Walker again. And he's swallowed up in the middle, no gain on the run. Yaya Diaby brings him down. Stuck to the ground, but nothing gained that time, and it brings up 3rd and 7. From the gun, Smith. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. And now they're staring at a 4th down. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
The Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield ready for this next possession. And he'll be happy to keep letting it fly as much as he has all game. Look at these numbers. They show just how effective he's been in captaining this offense. First down, here's Baker. Got his target, it's Otten. Breaks the tackle, still going. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down.
Oh, things weren't about to end after the first hit or the second. This tight end had a vision for what he wanted to happen after the catch, and he was going to take on all comers to try to make it a reality.
Let's see what they want to do here, partner. It's 2nd and inches. Baker now from the gun. Hits him on the out route. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains. First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Mayfield now from the gun. He's on the move. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
And look at that. All that effort and success from the previous play, it is gone. Credit to this defense who snapped and cleared. That's part of this game. You got to snap and clear. Give up a big play, come back and make a big one for yourself. And they do, getting home with that sack.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. Irving on the inside give. And he pushes forward, but they don't get much there. It's about 3 yards, but still a tall mountain to climb. 3rd and long upcoming. From the gun, Mayfield. Throwing deep for the end zone. And he hauls it in for the Tampa touchdown. The Buccaneers push their lead further to start the half. Spread the field and send them all deep, baby. All right, this might be a stupid question, Brock, but what makes that play call successful against an NFL secondary?
Yeah, because 4 verts is good against a college secondary, a high school secondary, a Pop Warner secondary, because it burdens and stresses that defense. And if you got people that can run and you got 4 choices to choose from, oftentimes you'll find one to hit on.
McLaughlin, attack on the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Buccaneers grow their lead to 8. The Bucs get lined up and they will kick this away. This return starts at the 5. He stopped on the return at the 27. This offense running out for a new series, led by their running back. And as he accumulates catches this season, Brock, some have stuck out to us more than most, and we had one of them on that last drive as he's reached a significant milestone for himself this year. Smith on first down. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
These intermediate gains, that's the wheelhouse for these two to connect on. Start the series off well, and it sure keeps the defense on its toes in case they try to load up and just simply cover the receivers.
2nd and 3 now. From the 34. Completed to Lockett. And he'll go down, it will say right at the 39-yard line. A 5-yard gain on the play. And it sets up Seattle with first down. They'll go with Walker on the counter. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
If there's ever a play we could call garden variety in the NFL, I think we just saw it right there. That's an uneventful run and a pretty sound stop there defensively.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Shotgun snap to Smith. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be third down.
You need to buy your receivers enough time to get open along their route, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit them with the throw. When the line doesn't hold up, incompletions follow.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down. A play fake, now Smith to throw. Into traffic, complete. And that will not be enough for a first down.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
Seahawks bringing out the punt team. Michael Dixon will kick it away. Averaging a little under 50 a kick so far, Brock, as he gets away another one. And that kick a little too well struck. He drives it into the end zone for a touchback. The Buccaneers ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Baker now off the play fake. Bails out of the pocket quick. He's going to keep it this time. And he gets it forward to steal about a yard out of that. Byron Murphy there to make the play. The rookie from Texas there on the tackle.
Just not much to do right there, whether he wanted to run it or throw it. Even if he scraped a positive gain out of it, that's still a win for this defense.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. Completes this one to Otten. And he's going to be out of bounds just before reaching the 30.
You've heard that very common term in draft vernacular called catching radius. Let me tell you, as a quarterback, you love tight ends on drag routes because that catching radius for such a big target, man, you see him, you eye him, and there's a comfort level between QB and tight end to make that connection.
Straight ahead, it's Irving. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32. It's a 4-yard gain, and that's going to get him across the marker and earn the first.
That's a play that won't pop on the stat sheet, but the players and coaches won't forget about it, I promise you that. The coaches will file that one away the next time they really need to pick up a few yards.
Evans, the motion man here. Mayfield on 1st and 10. Finds his man, it's Godwin. And he'll go down, it will say right at the 39-yard line. Second and 3 now. From the 39. He goes back to him yet again, complete. And he'll get it up to the 44. 5 yards on that play and enough for a new set of downs. From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Putting one of the tight ends in motion right. 1st and 10, here's Mayfield. Completed over the middle. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. It's a pickup of 11. And that's good enough for a Tampa first down.
You know, they really love that drag route because he's one of those guys that can count on not only to make the catch, but create after the catch. If they don't close on him quickly, he can add a lot of yards before someone tracks him down.
Handoff headed right, Irving. And he's brought down for a loss.
That's why you often see some high percentage pass plays on 1st and 10. You got to keep a defense honest. They're always looking for a run in that situation and a chance to stack them up for 2nd and long.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Right back to Irving now. He swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. Julian Love bringing that one to an end. They'll get that yard back, but no more. It's 3rd and 10. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. This one's taken in by Otten. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
I know on the stat sheet, Kate, that shows up as passing yards, but any defensive coordinator will take it. Understanding down and distance and keeping that offense short of the sticks.
Punt team on the field. And he's been getting all of it every time out. He's been hitting it well so far. This is another big one. So this one carries all the way to the sideline and out. No chance to make a play on that, and they'll take over at the 16-yard line. The Seahawk offense ready to get going once again. All their scoring has kept them close, but they still find themselves trailing by just a little in this 3rd quarter. He's contained at the line for no gain. That stop made by KJ Britt. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10. They go play action. Here's Smith. And that throw just too high for him. Looking for Tyler Lockett on that play. So now it's going to be 3rd and long.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive downfield. I love the call. I love pushing the ball down the field. But the windows in the throwing lanes aren't there long, and it only takes a little bit for a throw to be off.
Throwing on 3rd, Smith. He completes it in traffic. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
You know, I'm really not sure if that was an intentionally brave play to challenge double coverage or just simply not seeing the 2 defenders. Either way, what a tremendous throw and catch that earns some momentum.
A new set of downs awaits him. Here's 1st and 10. To the ground with Walker. He'll cobble together a yard there. Levante David, like so many times in his career, making that tackle. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
Well, now this defense is in the driver's seat, Kate, right? When you make a stop like that on 1st down, now it's your discretion of just how aggressive you want to be following that play up.
Out of the gun, here's Smith. He beams one deep right side. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete.
The ability to track the ball, right? Ball skills isn't just knocking it away, and that's a beautiful job there, Kate. The ball skills is also being able to track a ball on a deeper throw like that. If he doesn't swat it away, we're looking at a huge gain.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Smith back to throw. Cut by Lockett. And he's out of bounds beyond the 35-yard line.
You know, I don't mind the scheme. In fact, I like the call. Just not on that 3rd down in particular. Need to get it closer to the sticks to have a chance to move those chains.
Their punter making his way out now. And he'll try to hit this one well. Getting about 50 yards of boots so far, and here's another quality effort. The Buccaneers and receiver Chris Godwin getting set for another go. They're out and set, 1st and 10. They've certainly had no issue scoring, but their opponents have been right there with them, so they could really use some more points on this drive. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
You know, for pitchers, you'll hear them say, gosh, you got to pitch this guy backwards. For defenses, you got to do the same at times, Kate. You just can't always run it on first. You got to mix in some high percentage pass plays. Otherwise, you're going to get hit right in the face for a loss just like that.
Here's Baker. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. This is ahead for about 5. Devin Witherspoon there on the stop.
I'll tell you this, you don't want to make a living throwing into double coverage, but double coverage and still finding a way to beat the defense and haul it in. That's not a situation many players win, and there aren't a lot of quarterbacks willing to make that throw and trust their receiver to get it done.
Escapes the pocket. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
The challenge with so many sacks is it just disrupts everything in the rhythm and timing of your offense. All of these negative plays. Hey, this league and this game is hard enough when you're on schedule. All of these sacks setting you behind the chains, well, you've seen how disruptive it is for this offense.
Punting unit out now. And he's going to do the honors for the 4th time today. And this one is crushed. Wow, beautiful punt here. That is going to go for 60+. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. The offense being led back out by its quarterback as they get geared up for their next possession. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. It's Walker on the give. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Play brought to an end by Jordan Whitehead. Second and 6 coming up here. On the draw, it's Walker. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
That's the type of call that offensively, man, it just builds so much confidence. I don't even think they were looking to get the 1st down. Just get to a manageable 3rd down, but instead they move the chains, and that is one disheartening look on that defense.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Staying with Walker. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Stopped that time by Jamel Dean. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4. Fakes the handoff, now to throw. He finds Smith and Jigba right side. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play. It's a pickup of 9 yards. And the Seahawks will have a 1st down.
That pitch and catch won't show up as a big play on the stat sheet, but it gives his own defense a little time to rest and gives an offensive coordinator a new set of downs to work with.
1st down, Smith to throw. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. Second and 3 now. Handoff to Walker from the gun. And he's able to take this one down to the 25. That's a pickup of 9. And it sets up Seattle with 1st down. This is the end of the 3rd quarter. It's the Seahawks with possession, needing to erase that deficit in a hurry. He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. From the gun, Smith. Short pass brought in. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
Okay, I know exactly what's going to happen. I've seen it once, I've seen it 100 times. Next week on the practice field, this running back's going to say, see, I'm not just a running back. I can play receiver. And you receivers, you couldn't do my job, but I just showed you I could do yours.
He's on the move.
That's just a case where you're trying to make something when there really is nothing there. There just wasn't an opening for him to work with, and he was lucky to get what he could.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Now Walker. And he drives forward for a little, maybe to the 7. A couple yards on the run. It's 3rd and 6 now. Trying to throw here out of the gun. The back grabs it. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
When there's heat, that blitz coming off the snap, that QB's eyes, you could see it right away. He got to his check down in a hurry. But, Kate, here's the key. Quarterback and running back have to be on the same page. The two were right there, and it netted some positive yards.
1st and goal. Here's Walker. Is in. Touchdown, Seattle. The Seahawks down by only 2 in the 4th. Kenneth Walker, the touchdown. Extremely important moment here for the Seahawks as they go for 2. All or nothing, they'll run it. And he gets into the end zone. This one all tied up here in the 4th quarter. But we all knew extra point was doing nobody any good there. Got to go for 2 in the tie. They do. They get it. And just like that, we're all squared up here in the 2nd half.
Squared up, brand new ball game, even Steven. Who is Steven? Do you know who Steven is?
That's a good question. No, go ahead. Go ahead, though. You take it.
I don't know who Steven is, and I don't really care because it's a whole new game with both teams totally alive.
Here's Myers now to handle the kickoff. Tucker now on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. Now the Buccaneers set to take the field. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. On the give, this is Irving. And he gains ground to the 33 before being stopped. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4. Running back sent in motion. On target to Godwin. And this one doesn't go far. Battle coming up on 3rd and inches. Baker now from the gun. This finds Evans, complete. And he'll be brought down a step or 2 shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that's good for a Buccaneer first down.
As a quarterback, when you throw that curl route, you know it's a tight window, Kate. But the minute that DB turns and can't react to the throw, you put it right on your receiver's numbers. He comes back and gets it and moves the sticks.
First and 10, it's Mayfield. Brought in left side by Godwin. That's a Tampa Bay touchdown! The Buccaneers take a fourth quarter lead. It's a Chris Godwin touchdown. His third through the air this game. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period, end of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
McLaughlin, attack on the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Buccaneers break that tie and now lead by 7. The Bucs get lined up and they will kick this away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. Oh, he's showing some burst on this return. The return manages to get just beyond the 30. The visitors back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. And his production is carried over into this second half. He keeps on running well, even with the workload they placed upon him. First and 10 now. Here's Smith. Into the hands of Walker. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
You know, you compare and contrast stats over the decades, Kate. One thing you see is the completion percentages are through the roof. In this day and age, compared to the 60s and the 70s, a big reason is just completions like that. Utilizing every one of your eligible receivers. That time, a running back in the flat.
This is Walker on second. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
You know, the elite running backs in this league, they don't just see what's right in front of them. You set up big runs like this because they see what's behind them. That's called extraordinary vision and extra yards.
First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. It's Walker on the option. And he's able to manage a couple on that run. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. A play fake. Now Smith to throw. Pass complete to Walker. And he'll head out of bounds after a short gain.
Some certainly do it better than others, Kate, but every running back in the league today has got to do just that. You cannot be a one-dimensional back in the league anymore. You can't. You got to be able to handle your business, both toting the ball as a runner and really importantly as a check down outlet on short throws.
Smith on third and short. Complete beyond the marker. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. Smith setting the throw. Did not like what he was seeing, Brock, and he just hurls this one away.
That is a DB's best friend's pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Walker now from the gun. And in a rarity today, he's stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and they still need 10 now on third down. Shotgun snap to Smith. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back them up and bring up 4th down.
Kate, I can already read the headlines tomorrow. This offensive line can't protect. This offensive line. But it's more than that. When you give up 5 sacks in a game, it's a complete breakdown of everybody offensively. Play caller, quarterback, offensive line. Yeah, they're going to have to regroup and figure out how to protect this quarterback first and foremost.
They'll send out the punting unit. And he's going to try to give his defense a long field to defend. This is away, and once again, he's caught all of it. And he can't hurt you with a return if you just kick it out of bounds, right? This one flies out right around the 15-yard line. The offense returning to the field now as we get a look at their wideout. And that last drive, no answer for what they were doing through the air, so expect some tighter coverage this time around. Here's the give to Irving. And he'll get this up to the 19-yard line as he stopped. Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on 2nd down. Once again, Irving. And this run gets across the 20 to about the 21. Give him 2 on the run. That's going to set him up with 3rd and 4.